Hey there, and welcome to another trip report. It's 6:15 a.m. right now, and I've just arrived at Toronto Pearson Airport's Terminal 1, where I'll be catching Air Canada Flight 103 in Signature Class over to Vancouver, and then a connecting flight down to Los Angeles. My flight to Vancouver departs at 8 a.m., with boarding due to commence at 7:15 a.m., so that gives me about an hour to check in, clear security, and head to the lounge. Taking a look at the check-in information board, Air Canada Domestic check-in is at aisles 2 and 3, while Air Canada Business Class check-in is at aisle 1. The check-in at aisle 1 is open to travelers flying in Business Class, Signature Class, Premium Economy, Premium Rouge, or on a Latitude Economy fare, or for those who hold Aeroplan 50K status or higher. When I arrived at the entrance to the business class check-in, the agent told me that the line was moving very slowly and that I'd likely get through quicker if I used the priority line at aisle 3, so I headed there instead. In addition to those who have access to the aisle 1 check-in, the priority check-in at aisle 3 is also open to Aeroplan 25K and 35K members and to some premium credit card holders. The wait here was definitely shorter, taking only 5 minutes before I was able to see an agent. When I arrived at the counter, they asked for my proof of vaccination against COVID-19 and passport, since I'm traveling to the US today. With the business class ticket, you receive 2 complimentary checked bags, each weighing 32 kilograms or 70 pounds. Checked baggage also receives a Star Alliance priority sticker for expedited handling and is checked through to my final destination. After dropping my bags, I headed to security screening, where I had access to the priority security line on a business class ticket. After taking only 5 minutes from entry to exit of the security line, it's now 6:33 a.m. and I have another 40 minutes to head up to the lounge before my flight boards. On a domestic business class ticket, I have the option of visiting either the Air Canada Domestic Maple Leaf Lounge or the Air Canada Cafe across from gate D20. The Air Canada Cafe is Air Canada's new grab-and-go offering, with baristas serving up hot or cold drinks of your choice and lots of grab-and-go snacks available. It's accessible only to those traveling in Signature Class, Business Class, or Premium Rouge, or to those holding Aeroplan 50K status or higher, or Star Alliance Gold status. The Maple Leaf Lounge, on the other hand, which is where I decided to spend my limited pre-departure time this morning, is open to Aeroplan 35K members or higher, along with Star Alliance Gold members and those traveling in Signature, Business, or Premium Rouge. The lounge is located above the main concourse and accessible via an elevator immediately after security. The lounge is equipped with ample seating, a self-service food counter and bar area, and a hot food selection which you can order from your seat. Looking at the food counters, the selection right now is morning-oriented, with coconut overnight oats, fruit cups, yogurt parfait, and assorted muffins. As for drinks, there's coffee, tea, and hot chocolate available at this hour, and a selection of alcohol on offer at later times in the day. There's also a fridge with soft drinks, juices, and water. As for the lounge itself, it's quite large with lots of different seating spaces. There are lots of lounger chairs around the perimeter, and an elevated area in the center with more seating. There's additional seating on the other side of the food counters towards the back wall, and on the other side of the front desk there's cubicle seating for getting some work done. After grabbing some food, I headed for a seat in the elevated area at the center of the lounge. On the side tables at every seat in the lounge, there are QR codes that you can scan with your phone to access the menu for ordering hot food items. The QR codes are linked to your specific location, so after you order, the servers know where to bring the food. The morning items on offer in this lounge are tomato avocado toast, western omelets, apple cinnamon oatmeal, and waffles as a kids menu item. Since I'll be getting a full breakfast on the plane, I decided to go for something small and ordered the oatmeal, which was topped with spiced applesauce and pecans. I also grabbed a muffin from the self-service counter and a bottle of apple juice and a water. It's 7:10 a.m. now, and my flight is due to begin boarding in 5 minutes' time, so I'm leaving the lounge and heading down to the gate. My flight's boarding through gate D24 today, which is less than a 5-minute walk from the lounge. It's a busy place here, with most of the gate seating occupied and the remaining passengers sitting along the side of the People Mover walkway. With a few minutes before boarding begins, let's get a look at the aircraft taking me to Vancouver this morning. I'll be on board this 6-year-old Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner, which is still in the old mint green paint scheme. This aircraft was delivered new to Air Canada in June 2016 and was the 8th 787-9 that the airline received. As of July 2022, Air Canada was operating a fleet of 29 Boeing 787-9s, with an additional 3 aircraft on order. Boarding got underway right on time at 7:15 a.m. Air Canada boards the aircraft by zone number, with Zone 1 for Aeroplan Super Elite members and Signature Class passengers, Zone 2 for Premium Economy and all other Aeroplan Elite status members, and Zones 3 and up for Economy passengers without status. We're boarding the aircraft through 2 doors this morning, with the first door for Signature Class and the second door for Economy and Premium Economy. Stepping on board the aircraft, the Signature Class cabin consists of 30 lie-flat pod-style seats spread across 8 rows in a 1-2-1 seating configuration. I'm booked in seat 6A for today's flight, which is a window seat on the left side of the aircraft. The seats are very modern and clean looking, with textured hard plastic surfaces and metal finishing around the edges. Each seat can go into a fully flat position, which we'll check out later on, and is equipped with a large entertainment screen and lots of storage space. There's a large ledge between the seat and the window for placing items, though things here tend to go flying during takeoff and landing, so keep that in mind. The business class product on Air Canada's wide-body fleet is similar across their 787, 777, and A330 aircraft, all featuring these very private pod-style seats. Overall, the cabin in general is very bright and open-feeling. Settling into my seat, it's super private with each pod facing away from the aisle, meaning that the seats across the aisle are facing away from you. I would really have to crank my neck or get up out of my seat entirely to see other people. Looking at what was provided at the seat when we boarded, we have a full set of bedding, including a large pillow, mattress pad, and a blanket. Though this isn't an overnight flight, it is a nearly 5-hour cross-country journey, so it's nice that they provide the bedding to get some rest and comfort. On the side ledge, we have a water bottle, a Clean Care Plus kit, which will open up later in the flight, and a pair of over-ear noise-canceling headphones to use with the in-flight entertainment system. Looking around the seat a bit more, hidden underneath the ledge on the left side, we have a storage compartment. In this compartment, there's some general storage space for small items, a remote control for the entertainment system that pops out for use, along with a headphone port for connecting to the system audio, and an AC power outlet and USB 3.0 port for charging your devices. I love that they created cutouts along the lip of the lid such that the charging cords or the cord for the remote control can feed through it, allowing you to use them while the compartment is closed. Below the side ledge, we have buttons for the seat recline position and this small touchscreen to control different functions of the seat. From this screen, you can control the lighting in the seat, request service from the cabin crew, and adjust various seat comfort settings. Looking first at the lighting, we can control the dimmer level of the window shades, the lighting in the seat footwell near the footrest, as well as the lighting above the seat on the overhead panel. The lighting above the seat has 3 different settings where you can have either light on or both lights on at the same time. Also on the overhead panel, we have 2 personal adjustable air conditioning vents. In the control section on this screen, you can adjust the recline position of the seat, allowing you to vary the position of the seat footrest and seat back, with the ability to put the seat into fully flat position as well. In the comfort section, you can adjust different comfort functions of the seat, including the massage function, lumbar and headrest support, or the firmness of the mattress. On the left sidewall of the seat, there's also a small reading light that pops out for use. The tray table in these seats is stowed under the entertainment screen, and there's a latch on the underside of the table that allows you to pull it out and slide it along its mounting rails. When extended, the table is very sturdy and also folds out to double the size, giving you tons of surface area. There are a couple different latch positions that you can place it in depending on how far away you want it to be from you. On the top of the pod sidewall, there's a small notch to hang your coat, though my preference is to place it in the overhead bin. On the right side of the seat, adjacent to the aisle, there's a leather-padded armrest that rises upwards at the push of a button, but is supposed to be stowed during takeoff and landing. Tucked on the outside edge of the seat under this armrest is a small cubby for storing things, but once again, not during takeoff or landing. This storage spot is also very exposed to the aisle, so I can't imagine using it for anything other than garbage. Looking at the space underneath the entertainment screen and tray table where your legs go, there's an ottoman to rest your feet on, which at my height of 5'10", I'm not able to reach at all. You are permitted to stow things under the ottoman, but nothing on top of it during takeoff or landing. On the right side, there's a literature pocket for storing magazines or a newspaper, or perhaps even a laptop. On the opposite wall, there's a similar pocket that stores the provided reading materials. Taking a look at what's provided, we have the safety information card for the Boeing 787-9, along with a couple air sickness bags. Next to the pocket with the provided reading materials, there's a small indented area for putting something small as well. In addition to being able to stow items under the ottoman, there's also tons of space in the huge overhead bins, which can accommodate standard-sized rollerboard bags on their side. About 15 minutes after I boarded, and once everyone in the business cabin had settled in, the cabin crew handed out menus for this morning's flight. The offering on this flight is either a hot or cold breakfast, along with a range of alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. The hot breakfast options on this flight are either a parsley omelette served with chicken sausage, roasted red skin potatoes, cottage cheese, and red pepper relish, or pancakes served with chicken sausage, maple butter, and a fruit compote. Both hot breakfast options are served with a tray of appetizers, which includes fruit salad, a croissant with butter and jam, and chia seed pudding with roasted coconut. The cold breakfast offering, on the other hand, consists of fresh fruit with yogurt, granola, and almonds, a selection of cheeses served with cherry tomatoes and crackers, and a croissant with butter and jam. A full wine and spirits list was also provided with the menu.
Taxi over to the de-ice facility this morning, despite the fact that it's 6 degrees outside. We have a bit of frost on the wings. We're going to clean and protect the wings before we go flying. Then we'll be on our way to Vancouver. We're going to talk again later on flight 1.
Following an announcement from the cockpit, the jetway is detached and we're ready to push back from the gate. Now that the jetway has moved, I can get a good look at the engines, which I have a great view of from this seat.
Cabin crew prepare for departure and cross-check. À l'issue d'objet d'information, veuillez construire la carte de mesure de sécurité dans la pochette de votre siège et dans notre ordre.
Welcome aboard Air Canada.
Bienvenue à bord d'Air Canada.
For your safety and comfort, we ask that you pay attention to this short video. So join us as we explore all that can ensure you're comfortably seated, with your seat back upright and tray table stowed.
En prévision du décollage, prenez soin de vous asseoir confortablement, de redresser le dossier de votre siège et de ranger la tablette.
Should an emergency happen, place your feet flat on the floor and top of head against the need to evacuate the aircraft.
With the engines up and running, we're now taxiing over to the de-icing center for a quick spritz before heading to runway 06 left for takeoff. Our departure from runway 06 left will send us out to the east side of the airport before a long left turn to begin our track northwest towards Vancouver.
Takeoff.
should be made to finish your drink or food within a period of no longer than 15 minutes. Should a face mask become soiled and need to be disposed of, please use the air cleaner.
Climbing away from a very cloudy and wet Toronto, we've popped up above the clouds and are now on track towards Western Canada. From my pod seat, I have access to 2 of the huge windows that the 787 Dreamliner is equipped with, offering great views of our wing and engine and everything down below. Taking a look at the Clean Care Plus kit that was distributed prior to takeoff, Air Canada has been distributing these kits to all passengers on all of their flights as a part of their commitment to passenger safety during the pandemic. Inside, we have some individual packets of hand sanitizer, some disinfecting hand wipes, and a disposable face mask. 25 minutes after takeoff now, and the cabin crew are preparing the cabin for the breakfast service. The flight attendant came through to each seat to pull out and open up the tray table, and then laid a linen tablecloth. Our meal orders were taken prior to departure, and I opted for the pancakes as my main. To start the service, the flight attendants came through with the tray of cold appetizers, which included fresh fruit, a croissant, and chia seed pudding. The tray was provided with packets of butter and jam for the croissant and mini salt and pepper shakers as well. A full cutlery set and cloth napkin were provided with the tray as well. When serving these trays, the flight attendant also offered a full beverage cart service. As noted on the menu before takeoff, a range of wine and spirits are available in addition to juices, pop, and coffee and tea. I asked for a mimosa, which the flight attendant was able to make with the sparkling wine she had on hand. As for the food, though the chia seed pudding doesn't look terribly appealing, it was actually very tasty, and the toasted coconut on top gives it a nice texture contrast. The fruit was fresh, but I was disappointed that the croissant was provided cold and still in a plastic bag. I would have expected it to be warmed or at least served without the plastic, but perhaps this is carryover from the limited onboard service during COVID. As I finished the fruit plate on my tray, the flight attendant came through with the main meal service. The pancakes topped with maple butter and served with a warm fruit compote and chicken sausage were very tasty. That being said, the omelette, which was the other option, is also delicious, and either is a good choice. Cruising along 1 hour after takeoff, I've finished my breakfast and the flight attendants are working their way through the cabin, clearing away the trays. They also provided a top-up of drinks as they came through and offered water bottles as well. I'll be sticking with my mimosa for now. Taking a look at the entertainment system next, we'll start by popping out the remote. The remote is touchscreen controlled, with buttons on the left and right sides of the screen to toggle different functions like the system volume, overhead seat lighting, and the attendant call button, along with navigation buttons. With the lid of the side ledge closed, you can see how the remote cord feeds easily through the slots carved out for it. Getting into the system, we'll start with a look at the on-demand content available. The system is loaded with movies, TV shows, music, audiobooks, podcasts, and games, with a separate kids content section as well. The remote screen is essentially a miniature version of the larger entertainment screen, allowing you to navigate through the different options. In general, it's very quick to respond and easy to use. The entertainment screen itself is also a touchscreen and can be controlled that way as well. Continuing our tour, there's a good range of content available under each section, and each type of content is grouped into different categories by genre, recommendations, or other themes. You can view the food and drink options available on today's flight, and there's a section in the system with different city guides, including Vancouver, to help you prepare for your destination, as well as sections with information about Air Canada, their partners, and their frequent flyer program Aeroplan. From the top right corner of the screen, you can control the overhead reading light and attendant call button, as well as access the settings menu where you can control the display brightness and system volume, as well as other functions like system language, night mode, parental control, and even the dimmer for the windows. You're also able to turn off the screen here and set a screen status message to display. Moving on to the in-flight maps, you have the choice of viewing them either on the main screen in full screen or picture-in-picture mode, or in full screen on the remote. Once in the maps, there are tons of different viewing options and flight information to look at. Taking a walk to the lavatory, the business class cabin has one lavatory at the front and 2 lavatories at the back, which are shared with premium economy. I'm in one of the lavatories that's between business and premium, and it's very spacious and clean. There's tons of space to move around, the faucet is motion activated with buttons to adjust the temperature, and bottles of hand soap and hand lotion are provided as well. It even comes with a window, which helps make it super bright. Heading back to my seat, the cabin lights are dimmed and we've got just under 3 hours to go before our arrival. Most people in the cabin have got their seats reclined while watching a movie or taking advantage of the provided bedding to get some extra rest. I'm going to settle in and get some work done, but first let's dim the windows. The 787 is equipped with a window dimmer technology as opposed to normal window shades, which in this seat can be controlled from the small screen on the sidewall, from the main entertainment screen, or from a button below each window. There are 5 different levels of dimming from fully open to fully dimmed. Once activated, it does take a fair bit of time to transition, but is very effective once it does. Now that the windows are dimmed, let's check out the seat recline. Using the control section of the screen, we can adjust the position of the seat back and seat footrest, putting the seat first into a partly reclined position for relaxing and watching TV, and then into a fully reclined lie-flat position for sleeping. When in lie-flat, your legs slide under the entertainment screen and it doesn't feel cramped at all. Adding the bedding, it's super comfortable and I'm ready to relax. I've got my laptop out and my phone is charging through the USB port. This aircraft is equipped with Wi-Fi, though it is a paid service even for business class passengers. To connect to the network, you join the AC Wi-Fi network from your device and follow the prompts. It should route you to the GoGo in-flight Wi-Fi launch page where you can view different Wi-Fi access packages to purchase and other limited information. In terms of Wi-Fi access, there are 3 different pass options, whether you want to browse the web and check email, stream video, or do it all in high speed. For the Browse Pass, which is the cheapest option, you have the option of paying $7 Canadian or 700 Aeroplan points for 1 hour of access, $11.25 Canadian or 1,150 Aeroplan points for access for the duration of the flight, or an all-day pass for $34.95. With an hour and a half remaining, the cabin crew came through with a full drink service and a selection of snacks, including Miss Vicky's potato chips, Lindt dark chocolate bars, and Kit Kats. I opted for the potato chips and a Diet Coke. After passing through the cabin, they placed the snack basket on top of the pods at row 1 for passengers to grab more if they choose. I'm still marveling at how private these seats are, as you really can't see anyone else from your seat. This is one of the major benefits of what's called the reverse herringbone configuration, where seats face away from the aisles. 30 minutes left in the flight now as we near Vancouver, and the cabin crew are beginning to prepare the cabin for arrival. It's time to put my seat back into the upright sitting position and put away my laptop.
Vancouver is 9:25. We expect to have you at the gate at 10 o'clock, right on our scheduled arrival time, if not a few minutes early, traffic permitting. From cloud in Vancouver, temperature 7 degrees Celsius. Thank you for joining us this morning.
welcome to Vancouver. The local time is now 9:48.
After touching down at Vancouver International Airport at 9:47 a.m., we're now taxiing over to gate C47 on the domestic section of the terminal. We should be pulling into the gate right on schedule just before 10 a.m. local time. Thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this trip report. Now for some comments on the flight overall. Air Canada's signature class on their Boeing 787 from Toronto to Vancouver is a very solid domestic business class product. With priority airport services, lounge access, and a large private seat with full hot breakfast, this is a very relaxed and comfortable way to travel across the country. Compared to WestJet, which is their nearest competitor on this route, while you can expect similar amenities pre-flight and on board, most of WestJet's Toronto to Vancouver flights don't feature these pod-style seats, which make a big difference in the level of comfort. That being said, even some of Air Canada's own Toronto to Vancouver flights use narrow-body aircraft without these business class pods. My recommendation when flying business class between Toronto and Vancouver is to make sure you select a flight operated by one of Air Canada's wide-body aircraft like the 777, 787, or A330 to make sure you get these super comfortable lie-flat seats.